The 6-3 Seattle Seahawks are at home this week for Thursday Night Football, a monster matchup awaiting them with the now 6-3 Arizona Cardinals, who are the latest team to prove that praying must work. Holy Hail Mary, Batman. Is that redundant? Who knows? But what we do know is Kyler Murray waited for the perfect possible moment to throw his only TD pass last week. DeAndre Hopkins pulling it in, just the latest nuke highlight in a season that has seen a ton of them.
You know, in basketball terminology, that's what they call this. You know, somebody get dunked on.
Hopkins is having a beast of a year. D-Hop now with 5 100-yard receiving games.
Hopkins hangs on for the touchdown!
And one of those games he crossed the triple-digit barrier in was in Week 7 against the Seahawks.
Hold in for the touchdown!
Murray also showed up big in that game. 360 yards, 3 TD passes while leading Zona to the OT win.
Wide open and making the catch!
You might recall Murray also gashed the Hawks on the ground in that one.
Murray dives and gets into the end zone!
Murray taking over the mantle as the league's most dangerous running QB. 60 more yards last week, 2 more rushing TDs, which gives him 10 for the season, while leading the league in yards per carry.
To the end zone! Touchdown!
And if he wasn't enough to worry about, the Cardinals also have Kenyan Drake in the fold again, who came back from an injury and looked much more like the Kenyan Drake we saw last year.
Drake finds open running room.
Seattle hasn't been an easy team to run on, though. The Rams didn't crack 4 a carry against them last week, and they've held teams near 3.5 a run for the year.
Akers, and he is spun to the ground.
Their passing defense is a different matter, though. Over 300 yards allowed to Jared Goff, no TDs allowed, but no picks. Passer rating given up just below 100.
And now here is Reynolds again.
Plus, there was that game against Murray in round 1 as well, and then there's their season numbers against the pass. Still no team giving up more passing yards per game, and all the accompanying stats that go along with that aren't very good either.
What a throw!
But the fire burning in that room of Seattle's manor isn't as alarming as the one that's flared up in the kitchen, because that one involves their head chef.
End zone picked off!
Russell Wilson, on pace at the midway point to break Peyton Manning's single-season TD passing record, is not on that pace anymore. He got shut out of the TD pass column last week and threw 2 interceptions.
That's another one for Darius Williams.
His latest stat line wouldn't be overly bothersome, except he's been putting up more of them lately. That's 2+ interceptions in 3 of his last 4 games.
Throws for the end zone, and it's intercepted.
And one of those 3 was against the Cardinals, who picked him off 3 times in that contest. All those subpar performances by Wilson, all losses.
Intercepted!
Wilson's tendency to burn more meals lately seems tied to Seattle's lack of run game.
Aaron Donald is right there to make the stop.
Aside from Wilson, Seattle was ineffective again when they ran the ball last week, and Pete Carroll's kitchens have always been built around a sound back, keeping defenses honest. So you know they are desperate to get Chris Carson back.
Carson will take the ball inside the 5.
Carson may be the key to restoring order for the Hawks. He left the Cardinals game early with an injury. They lost that game, as well as 2 of their next 3, all games Carson was missing from.
Bills smother him in a hurry.
Whoever does line up to run the ball for the Seahawks, they won't be facing an overly strong run D. The Cardinals giving up close to 4.5 a run for the year.
It's a tightrope job. Does he stay in? It looks like he has.
But throwing on Arizona is a much more challenging feat. The Cardinals picked off Josh Allen twice, and they are now 10th best in rating allowed, and they've held QBs to just under 7 yards per attempt and a completion percentage in the low 60s.
Kirkpatrick steps in for the pick.
You can stroll into this one, roll into this one, or bounce into this one like Will Smith might. Man, does anyone even know Will Smith used to rap? No matter, we are now living in the wild, wild west, and this showdown is as good as it gets. Who's going to be whose Huckleberry? You tell us in the comments section. I'm starting to mix cowboy movie analogies together, so I better mosey on out of here and leave some predictions behind as I go.
Here's a toss to Collins running left, cuts upfield, and is in for the touchdown.
The blitz, he got rid of it quickly for the one-on-one. Here's Murray.
To the end zone. Touchdown. Kyler Murray. Sensational.